Hi everybody, this is William Regal and welcome back to TEW2020. This is the Invasion series. We are now in week 4, May 2001. It's Sunday. It's Judgment Day. The show kicks off with a taped pre-event hype video featuring Steve Austin, Kane, Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero, Big Show and Chris Jericho. These will all be in action tonight, among of course many others. It's a rating of 74. And we kick off with Ivory against Lita in a women's match. And it's Lita that gets the win in 7 minutes 22 by disqualification. It says it's a poor match there, it doesn't say anything about the crowd. Rating of 51, this was just to get these two on the card really, get Lita a match. Because post-match, Right to Censor head to the ring and it looks like they are gunning for Lita and Lita looks on in horror. But then Right to Censor are cut off by the Hardy Boys and they just get stopped in their tracks and they think better of it, turn around and go back to the backstage. A rating of 55. The Undertaker then takes on X-Pac. X-Pac wanted a big match for the pay-per-view for Judgment Day and William Regal as commissioner granted him that wish and gave him a match against the Undertaker. Didn't really stand a chance. Decent match here. The Undertaker getting the win in 10 minutes 29 seconds by pinfall with a tombstone. Rating of 79. I must admit I didn't expect that. I thought X-Pac might bring that down a bit. But no, happy with that. Good match. We then have an angle. It's a taped video. It's a hype video really, or a storyline recap between the APA and Edge and Christian. Disappointing rating on this one, just a 58. This is just a sort of pre-match kind of, how things been going, the lead up to this match, all that sort of thing. And then this match is the 6-man tag. Chris Benoit and the APA take on Hardcore Holly and Edge and Christian. Hardcore Holly was kind of inserted because he also wanted a match for Judgment Day. William Regal decided to team him with Edge and Christian. It's Benoit and the APA getting the win in 12 minutes 50 when Hardcore Holly was disqualified after Kurt Angle came in and attacked Bradshaw. So Hardcore Holly was the legal man, but it's Kurt Angle that caused the disqualification and a victory for the APA and Chris Benoit. Rating of 74, another good one. I'm quite pleased with that one there. And then the Hardys with Lita cut a promo on Right to Censor. This is a pre-match, a rating of 58. And then it's the match between the Hardys and Right to Censor. In 10 minutes 21, the Hardy Boys get the win when Matt Hardy pins Bull Buchanan with a twist of fate. And it's an overall rating of 62. China then takes on Trish Stratus for the WWF Women's Championship. Decent reaction from the crowd, but terrible wrestling. China gets the win in 6 minutes and 7 seconds by pinfall with a DDT. China makes defense number 1 of the women's title. This is obviously since the save started. I can't believe she only had no defenses up until now. Again, I've said it before, I wasn't watching wrestling at the time, so as far as I know, maybe this was her first defense. But anyway, overall rating 51. Yeah, we've got a disappointing women's division, but going to stick with it for now. Triple H is then with his manager and wife, of course, Stephanie McMahon, and it's a pre-Intercontinental title match promo as he takes on Test. Decent rating there, 74. And the match itself, only getting a 68, but could have been worse, I guess. Triple H gets the win in 10 minutes 50 by a pinfall using underhanded tactics. So he had to cheat to get the victory. He had to cheat to defend the Intercontinental title. They didn't click, these two. I do, as I always say, I hide the information here because I don't want too many spoilers, I guess. But yeah, Triple H and Test didn't click. Awkward bout. Yeah, 68. Post-match, Big Show comes down and he attacks Test and sort of just starts beating to the ground really. But the Undertaker comes out to make the save and that's a decent rating, 72. The Dudley Boys then take on Stephen Richards and Perry Saturn. A poor match, but the Dudleys do get the win when Bubba Ray Dudley pins Stephen Richards in 7 minutes 12. Yeah, disappointed with this one. Well, I say that. I mean, Stephen Richards and Perry Saturn, I think they're both unimportant. So this was just to get the Dudleys on the card. I've not used them enough really. They're not involved in a storyline. They probably should be. I do have plans for them. I certainly don't want to not use them. So yeah, look, stay tuned for that one. I've got some pretty big plans for them actually. But yeah, rating of 65. Eddie Guerrero then takes on Kurt Angle. These two, along with Benoit, have been arguing over who the most technical athlete is in the company, and this is just an opportunity for these two to battle it out. And good wrestling, decent reaction from the crowd. Kurt Angle does get the win in 17 minutes 31 by pinfall with an angle slam, but it was following interference from Edge. So Edge did interfere on Guerrero, which forced or allowed Angle to get Guerrero up in that hold and slam him to the ground and get the pin. And we also had Christian distract Eddie, so very much against it there. Rating of 79. Post-match, Angle is beaten down on Guerrero, but Benoit heads to the ring and he makes the save. And then obviously Kurt Angle just decides to retreat. And rating of 72. We're getting some decent ratings for this pay-per-view. Yeah, we'll have to see how it obviously pans out at the end. Big Show then takes on Chris Jericho. This is another William Regal special. He's kind of avoiding taking on Chris Jericho, and he said he felt sorry for Chris Jericho. He was sorry for what he did. He thinks Chris Jericho deserves another big match, and so he pins him up. He places him up against the Big Show, which probably wasn't what Jericho had in mind, but that is the match that Regal, as the commissioner, booked. And it's Big Show that gets the win. A great heat and decent wrestling. It took 10 minutes and 59 seconds, but Jericho was counted out when fighting William Regal at ringside. So yes, William Regal did decide to come in and interfere, and he forced Jericho to be counted out. 72. So as Big Show sort of celebrates, and outside the ring, Jericho and Regal have brawled to the back, but Test decides to come out and confront the Big Show, and but Big Show gets the upper hand when he smashes Test with a chair and starts beating down on Test. Overall rating of 64, that one. And then we have William Regal in his office, and he's watching back that match we've just had. And he's watching the parts where the Big Show sort of beating down on Jericho or getting the upper hand on Jericho. He's just laughing. He's laughing at Jericho being all hurt and losing the match. Overall rating of 71. Rhino takes on Billy Gunn. This is a hardcore match for the Hardcore Championship. It says decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling. I really want to get Rhino over, and I'm hoping really it's not Rhino that's kind of bringing these matches down. I think once Rhino gets a bit more popularity, we'll see more from him. I hope. Rhino got the win in 9 minutes 22 by pinfall with a gore, and he successfully defends the Hardcore Championship. Overall rating of 59. Post-match, the APA head to the ring and they approach Rhino. They were annoyed about what happened on Raw last week. I've put last night there. Obviously, I do mean last week. But Rhino just destroys them both. Completely and utterly destroys them. And Bradshaw and Farouk are just lying out on that canvas. Overall rating of 61. It's our main event, and Steve Austin takes on Kane for the World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Championship. A superb match. Steve Austin defeated Kane in 18 minutes 55 by a pinfall with a stunner, following interference from Triple H. So it did take Triple H to come down and help his friend. These two are helping each other a lot recently, helping each other keep those belts. They are both, of course, still our tag team champions. But that's another defense for Steve Austin, and that's a rating of 81, pretty decent. Post-match, Steve Austin and Triple H start beating down on Kane, but the Undertaker comes down, and there's a mass brawl, and it doesn't really stop until the road agents come in and kind of they struggle, but eventually they get a hand on things. Vince McMahon comes down as well, and he's kind of just, calm down, guys. What are you doing? You guys have got the belts. Why are you getting involved in this? You don't need to be, expending energy on this. And so then they just decide, obviously, to walk away with their heads held high, holding the gold. Overall rating of 78. Here's hoping, guys. Fingers crossed for a decent rating. Increase some pop in some areas. We need it. We've been losing a bit recently. Oh dear. Well, 71, which really isn't an awful rating, but we still lost popularity in 24 regions. Yeah, this is very, very tough. We've still got a long way to go, obviously, even with the WWF roster. Well, that's Judgment Day in the bag. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please stay with me for Raw, which will be in-game tomorrow night. Not sure when it'll be uploaded yet. I have said, I'm not sure if I've said it in this series yet, but my schedule might be slowing down a little bit. I'm running 3 series, which is a lot. I'm going to try to keep up the pace, but here or there might just be a couple of weeks where shows just don't come as regular. But anyway, apart from that, I think it was a pretty decent show. Game-wise, yes, we've lost pop, but I think I'm starting to definitely get some storylines developed here, and kind of introducing a few more story crossovers, I guess. So yeah, I'll leave it there, and I'll, as per usual, tell you all to take care, and I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.